What up, friends? So today is kind of a gloomy, semi-rainy day. It was drizzling earlier, so I figured it would be the perfect time to review my Michelin Road 6s, these expensive ass sport touring tires on my 636. My opinion on them so far, coming from the S22s. I did burn through the OEM set of S22s and then another set of S22s. Got about 35 to 4,500 miles on each set. So yeah, just around there. Curious to see how long these run. I've heard of people going 6 to 8K miles on sport bikes with these bad boys. Turns by save some battery. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about these tires. I figured the road may be kind of wet, so let's see if we can put it to the test a little bit. I already have. Spoiler alert, they're amazing in the wet. But yeah, Michelin Road 6s, man. Let's get her started. My bike's kind of cold, actually. Probably should have let it run a little bit, but it's all good. 11K miles, baby. God damn. Let me turn my... I don't know why the Cardo does that. It's just like the radio just randomly turns on. But, alright, so should you rock sport touring tires on your super bike? Honestly, this is the lame answer. It depends on what kind of rider you are. I'm a heavy commuter, so I beat the crap out of this bike. I commute for long distances for work using this bike, as well as long distances for fun. Literally took this bike from LA to San Francisco, and then I take it from LA to Seal Beach pretty much every day for work. So in the short time I've had this bike, I've had 11,000 miles, and this is my third set of tires. I've had about 1,000 miles so far on these Road 6s, and if you're like me, you like to beat the crap out of your bike, really make the most out of your time on your lovely machine. In my opinion, it's definitely worth, well, depending on your financial situation, of course. If you don't mind forking over a couple $100 every month or so, because if you ride like I do, you could probably burn through some aggressive tires once a month, and gotta make sure my pockets are empty. Damn. Yeah, if you ride like I do, or as many miles as I do, I should say. I don't really ride that fast, to be honest with you. But if you really have a lot of mileage on your day-to-day life on a motorcycle, on your sport bike per se, I would highly recommend getting a set of sport touring tires. And in my opinion, the Michelin Road 6s are probably the best all-around sport touring tires. Some would say the best all-around tires in general. I don't know about all that. The S22s were pretty good all around too. But for someone like myself who racks up thousands and thousands of miles per month, it would be highly beneficial investing in some high quality sport touring tires, regardless of what bike you ride, whether it's a naked bike, a super sport bike, adventure bike. I even have a set of the Road 6s on my 1250 GS Adventure as well. And let me tell you something right now, having some proper road tires on a GS that I never plan on off-roading, specifically a bike designed for comfort touring and messing around with, and occasionally some canyon riding. Those Road 6s feel amazing. They just feel glued to the floor. And it lowered the bike a little bit. Actually, a whole lot of bit. I easily flat foot the GS. Mind you, I'm a little bit on the taller side, but I was slightly on my tippy toes with those set of Anakis that were originally on those tires. That knobby thread really does add a few inches or maybe a few centimeters on the all-around seat height. But where was I going with this? Yeah, so if you rack on a lot of mileage, man, sport touring tires are the shit. Now, I will say, I know what you're thinking, how will it affect my performance in the canyons and the twisty roads and whatnot? They're great. They're really, really good. The only problem is the aggressive tires, the sticky tires, are just 10 times better. With the S22s, granted, I've only ridden on S22s. The S22s are just so inviting when you want to really push your tires to the edge. I remember that day I had my suspension tuned for my weight, and I finally broke in my second set of S22s. That was probably the fastest I've ever pushed my 636. And anytime I'd be mid-corner in those big turns, the bike just was like, come on, man, keep on pushing, dog. I ain't at my limit yet. And at the end of the ride, I was like, shit, I got rid of my chicken strips, dog. It was very, very, those aggressive tires are obviously, once they're properly warmed up, they're very, very inviting. Now, I have not ridden the RS11s and the Q5s, the very popular super tires, super bike tires that people really love on the canyons. But in all honesty, I've been riding for a few years now, have tens of thousands of miles under my belt, got fairly acquainted with the motorcycle community over here in Southern California. 99.9% of you would probably be faster on sport touring tires than really using those sticky tires for its potential. Granted, I know there's those guys over there up in the canyons who go elbow to elbow in every turn, and they took lessons and whatnot, and they take all the risks up there. But 99.9% of you, and I'm not exaggerating, will be just as fast and perfectly fine on my on these sport touring tires. Now, I will say, if you're a weekend rider, let's say you don't really use your bike on a daily basis, you don't really rack up as many miles as some of us do, and your motorcycle is more of a recreational toy for Sunday, Saturday rides, you get whatever tires you feel more confident with. If you feel like you truly, genuinely enjoy Q5s, RS11s, S22s, then it doesn't really matter, because you're not really burning through those tires the way some people like myself do. I love a set of S22s that could last for 8,000 miles, but that's not a thing. What are we doing? Thank you. That was awkward. But the performance on the Michelin Road 6s, as far as performance up in the canyons and the twisty roads, it gets the job done. It's obviously not as inviting and as confidence inspiring as the more aggressive tires, but it's still very flickable. If anything, it's more flickable than the S22s, in my opinion. It's very welcoming in that sense. However, I've been on some turns or some corners where I haven't felt too stable, too comfortable pushing to the edge. As you can see, I left a little room for error on each side of the tires. I don't know if you can see it. Couple of chicken tendies, and that's for a reason. Don't be ashamed of your chicken strips, my friends. It just shows you the room for error. But where's I going with this? So far, so good as far as canyon performance goes. Granted, I'm not one of those guys up in Azusa Canyon in the full suits taking pictures with their elbow down, but I would consider myself an aggressive canyon enthusiast, if you will. Let me get a better angle from this side. There we go. Damn, this bike's gorgeous. But that's all there is to really say about the Road 6s, man.